We all face challenges. It may be financial or with relationships or just with our own frame of mind. My guest is Kim Irvin Albano from Resolve Counselling Services and Tina Bailey, Executive Director of Community Foundation for Kingston Area. So Tina, Resolve is one of the projects that you, the Community Foundation funded. How did you make that choice?
Well, this one was a really interesting one for us. The Community Foundation back in April did a survey to all of our charitable partners to help us really understand what their needs were now and in the future. And Resolve was telling with us about a really interesting idea that they had. So we did some follow-up conversations with them because we do really love those innovative pilot projects. If someone has an idea to do something better or different that can have really good impacts longer term, those are great projects for us to invest and try in. So we contacted and say, what would you do if we could get you 2 months worth of funding to trial this idea? And they said, yes, they could get going with it. So I'm really excited that Kim is here today to tell us how that project is going, because they were very quick to start. And, Resolve, we have a lot of trust and faith within them. It's one of our trusted charitable organizations. So we thought, let them give this a try. If it works, wow.
Wow. How much money were we talking about here?
I think it was a very modest investment. I think about $5,000 or so.
And that's, by today's standards, that's not a whole lot of money. However, you put it to good use, Kim. How was the money used?
We did put it to good use, and Resolves we're really good at making the best bang for your buck. And so we were thrilled to be able to get the funding for this project. It's something that has been percolating in us for a while, and the needs of COVID really accentuated some of the needs that we've been seeing for years in our agency. So we immediately put the funding from the Community Foundation to really, really good use, and hired some additional staff for this project. As we were chatting about this project, we realized that there's a couple of different elements. One is to address the immediate needs, which is what the Community Foundation funding can do for us. But it really helped us to start thinking about even taking a look at long-term post-COVID. So essentially what this funding is doing is helping us to really look at our first point of contact with clients a little bit differently. So we're a multi-service agency. We have many, many different programs, anywhere from credit counseling to our individual and family counseling program, and many different government-sponsored programs as well. So we wanted to really have a place where people have one point of contact. Often what we find is that clients may come in with multiple needs, or they may not even know exactly what it is that they're looking for, particularly when it comes to COVID and some of the experiences we've had around COVID. So we're doing a pilot on creating a virtual or call-in walk-in, where individuals can call one point of contact and have some immediate services. So this will be able to have a system navigator of sorts that could say, okay, thank you for sharing with me what your issues are. What would probably work well is maybe this program, and immediately connect clients with the programs that are appropriate for them. The challenges that we have at Resolve is that we have a high volume of calls, and so we do have wait lists, and we have sometimes people are waiting several months to access services. So the Community Foundation's actually helped us pilot a couple years ago a walk-in clinic, which has worked exceptionally well. So we're taking this to the next level with this next pilot funding, of really looking at, instead of just looking at it through the lens of that one program, of looking at it from a multi-program point of view. So we're thrilled to be able to do this work.
It sounds interesting, because I'm just thinking that I bet a lot of things are interconnected. So they might call because they're having a financial issue, but then they also have stress issues, and maybe there's even nutritional issues, and it all stems from what they thought was just a money problem. It's creating other problems. Does that make sense?
Well, that's essentially what we're seeing, and we saw this pre-COVID as well, but we're really seeing it on a more intense level at this point. And so we work because we're a multi-service agency and we're all under one roof. It's easy for clients to flow from one program to another. And there's been many times that, for instance, in credit counseling, I've been called and said, "Kim, would you mind chatting with this person because they're having some particular issues that are mental health related?" So we've always done this, but this is more intentional in this process with this pilot funding, so that the bridges are there right from the beginning, and we can really take a look at the multi layers of somebody's life, because people are calling us and we're having people call us who've lost their jobs or lost their businesses because of COVID related items, and of course that's going to increase somebody's stress level and ability to manage their own wellness with the anxiety that they're experiencing. So in these situations, we can deal with it from a bunch of different angles, and have an ability to really manage the case amongst our initial point of contact.
And it also saves people telling their story over and over
That's
and
right.
over, and which is sometimes what happens, at least when you're trying to deal with a company, that's what happens. And you just really get tired of having to tell yet another person the same thing all over again. So it makes sense on a lot of different levels. Kim, is there anything that you're seeing less of these days than before the pandemic?
Well, Donna, initially what we experienced was a lot of clients were saying to us, "I really want to have that face-to-face contact," and so now a couple months later, people are saying, "You know what? I can't wait for that." But the population that we're really concerned about right now is some of our younger people and some of the more marginalized people who may not have access to phone or video. And so we've had a lot of our clients just pop into our office. So we're looking at creative solutions by accessing some of the resources of our community partners and some of creative funding, for instance, with the community foundations and other organizations, to really take a look at the people who we aren't hearing from, that we are very concerned about. Other agencies in our community, Resolve's part of a larger network all through Kingston, Frontenac, and Lennox and Addington, and we're all concerned about this, and we're all looking at really creative solutions to help
So
capture that part.
are you seeing people that you've never seen before, and people who
Oh,
say, "I never thought that I would ever," is that happening?
we're absolutely seeing people we've never seen before. So we have a lot of clients that are coming back who maybe not have access services for a couple of years, and we have a lot of first-time clients as well. And so that's absolutely the trend. And then there's some people who may be having a hard time navigating some challenges because it might not be directly with them. There's some I've heard a couple of stories of people who may be living with somebody who's having a lot of distress, whether it's a roommate or a family member, and are having a hard time supporting their loved one or their friend. And so that's a couple of the news stories that we haven't heard before, is some people coming into, they're experiencing some of the anxiety in a secondary way and saying, "How the heck do I help this person?" And so calling Resolve is an absolutely fabulous way to be able to gain that support within yourself so that you can support others. We're
Well,
also having some calls from seniors. So some seniors, particularly seniors who are living all alone, are separated from their loved ones. We're having several calls from seniors who are really feeling that isolated on such a more intense level. And so the conversations with our seniors is really helping to navigate some of those distressing times, and maybe trying to problem solve alternatives that might fit into the realities that we're having today.
two of my friends who are seniors both said the same thing. They miss hugging. That is
Yes,
the, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes. And I think we're all affected by that isolation, but people who live alone, particularly seniors who live alone, are particularly affected by that. Right?
And there's burnout. This has been going on for 3 months. And if you've got someone who is, it's exhausting.
It is.
with someone who has, even if you're doing fine, they're not. And I can see where after 3 months, they could be just at their wit's end, as we say. If someone,
Absolutely.
if someone out there, Kim, is saying, yeah, I know I need help. I don't know what I need, but what can you say to them? What can you tell them?
Absolutely. I would say give us a call. Give us a call, and we'll do our best to fit you into the right service. A lot of times it will be with our agency, but we're also connected to all of our partnering agencies. And so if there is a program that's out there for you, which I'm sure there is, give us a call. So I just like to put out our phone number, 613 549-7850. Just Google Resolve Counseling. We'll pop up in your browser, and we'd love to hear from you.
It sounds wonderful, and congratulations on using the money so effectively, and congratulations, Tina, to the Community Foundation for making these funds available. It sounds like a really good investment in our community. Thanks so much, ladies. Been great talking to you, and stay safe.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna.